come get ready with me to take my dog on a walk, and let's talk about what a fine line tattoo is. Fine line tattoos are still tattoos. Why are they still tattoos? Because there's still ink going in the skin being punctured by a needle. And it's not even being punctured by the needle, it's actually being vacuum sealed with the needle. But we'll talk more about that later. So what's the main difference, right? Like, if it's still a tattoo, why do people say that? The only reason why is because the needle thickness or diameter, if you want to say that, is different than other needles. Needles come in clusters, so they go in odd numbers, 1, 3, 5 and up, and then they go in thickness of needle. They also go in depending on how tightly they are bound together. Some people do their own needles. So now that we know what the main difference is, excuse me, I'm sick, between fine line tattoos and regular tattoos is just the needle size. What are some of the pros and cons around that, right? Well, a smaller needle means less skin and less ink in the skin, so it's going to fade faster, right? Some people prefer bold tattoos, that way you never have to touch them up. You will have to touch up some fine lines. Just depends on your skin, how well you hold it. That's also why I also offer a free touch-up, because if anything fades, I want to make sure your tattoo looks good for you. So there's just some things to think about. You have to be really great about your aftercare as well. Just no matter what happens, our skin is meant to push out things that are pushed into it anyway or injected into it. It's just our skin's natural way of rejecting and fighting off anything that we may absorb. Now, if you're thinking about getting a fine line tattoo, definitely make sure that you're on top of your aftercare, because yes, there's less ink going in the skin, but you have to remember that you have to try and keep that ink in as much as possible. One of those things that I do is I put the Sanoderm on top, help you marinate in that ink while your skin's still pushing it out and while it's still open. But there's a couple other things to look at when getting a fine line tattoo, but we can go over that if you guys are curious. Let me know. Any other tattoo questions, drop them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer.
And you want to go for a walk? Yeah, let's go for a walk.